Oh, here we are. The final fence post in the ground for the area I'm fencing off. You can probably hear the chickens and rabbits in there. But we're going to go for a little walk, and I guarantee you, they're not all in a straight line. You can't hammer through rocks you can't see under the ground, big ass roots. Maybe even by myself, I sure as hell I'm not going to be digging holes to get that shit out. I'm just going to adjust the post. But I still got her done. It was literally 2 posts more than I expected, but thankfully I grabbed the extra 2 posts when I bought the last bit of posts I needed for this, because I was expecting maybe 8 more posts, and went ahead and grabbed 10 just to be safe, and it worked out. Yeah, I'm getting to walk along part of my property line, because we're going to try and acquire this property over here next door as well. Main reason why is I just found out there's a property over here, and then there's a property over here behind my shop. And the one that's over here is basically a double lot. We're back over here behind the shop. It's 2 smaller ones. And we might try to acquire all 3, technically, or if you want to call it all 4 lots, because the ones are combined. Because it turns out all the ownership, literally everybody whose name is on those property, for property ownership, are all deceased. Minus one person who probably doesn't know they even still have the property, because her husband passed away and they sold the land and the house, which is what we bought. But sadly, they didn't include all of the property from them. So there's technically a free floating piece of land next door, and I don't even think the county assessors know. So we made sure to contact them and start going through the process of what it'll take to acquire these pieces of land next door. It'll add on a little over an acre to what we've got, but previous owner had built a couple buildings on the property, and they don't actually sit on the property. They more or less sit on the back neighboring property, which is owned by someone we can't even find. Literally. Last time we found him, but the guy hasn't, there's no up-to-date records on the guy for past 2018. Single man, so we don't know if something happened to him, moved out of the country. Yeah, we don't know. So that's why we're doing what we can, go the proper steps and acquire those parcels there. But, yep. Having some fun walking the property line, talking to myself on the phone. Now, before we put the fence in, I've got to take and move all the branches here, of course. And I've got to cut a chunk of this tree out, at least far enough back so we can get the fence through. So, yep. Now, I know I covered this before, but technically, our property continues to go along and out past there. You might be able to see some rocks over here. You will, but we'll walk right by it. But this is all still my property over here. I just put the fence line behind the tree line. During winter, we get a lot of snow, and, things happen when you got neighbors and friends of theirs that might come through, aren't used to it, and kind of slide off the road, don't even take out my tree, or taking out my fences. But yeah, the property goes right there, so that bush right there is the corner, and it'll continue past. But yeah, we still got all of that out there that's going to be within the fence line, so dogs can run free. But run free to an extent, because we do have a lot of wild predators out here that will snatch a dog pretty quick. And hell, if your dogs are small enough, we've got birds out here that will snatch your dog pretty quick. I mean, if you haven't seen a California condor, or, you know, even a bald eagle and all that in real life, they're a lot bigger than you think. You know, I watched a couple condors, of all things, pick up a small sheep before, you know, so, and that wasn't no YouTube video. But yeah, that's the property line. Well, the fence line, not the property line, so. And we'll have all that for our puppies to run around in, and to do our gardening in. Some folks are curious, or might be curious, on how we're going to do that up here, given that we're on the side of a mountain. Well, thankfully, during the early part and the latter part, well, midday, all this stays real bright right in here, real sunny. Right over there is going to be where the main garden area is. You know, that whole section there. But I'm hoping to, because we do get enough corn from morning till, yeah, about this time, or enough sunlight, is where I'm hoping to plant some corn. And then if we can acquire the other two parcels, at least next door, one of those will get turned into all farm ground, because there's not a whole lot of trees on that one. But yeah, a little side adventure just for the heck of it. At first, this looked just like one of those, you know, tool chest type things that a lot of farmers leave out on their property, you know, so that they just have their tools out there to go get. But if you pay close attention to the shape of this knot, this is actually an old, it's going to probably be about Korean War era coffin vault. The last two owners were veterans, and of course you got the handles going all the way down. But what these would do is they would hold the boxes that held the bodies of those who passed on. And the shape made it easier for them to stack and to place onto the ships or the planes at the time. You know, made it more boxy, I guess. But yeah, got this, and of course the last owners did use it for what you would expect. Works good, sturdy, but I'm hoping this summer to be able to pull this out, get it emptied out, and I'm gonna try and get that anchored upright and turn it into a little community toolbox type thing. So I'll probably put a bunch of, you know, old yard tools and hand tools and stuff that we don't use anymore but are still good, and place them in there so that some of the neighbors around here can still, you know, if they need a tool or something that they might not have, or theirs broke all the way, they got something that can help them with things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little walkabout on the property. Puppies are going to have a lot of area to run around in, so I hope you all have a good and happy Easter today.